are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
Do not come. Do not come.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Punch Up
Hello.
Pod with Lila and Pat. Happy Sunday night shit show.
Absolutely. And Lila, I want to congratulate you on officially breaking me of my OCD of starting on time. I was the one making us like 10 seconds late. Not that anyone would even notice, because we were having a juicy chat, which we cannot continue online.
Yeah, we were gossiping.
But,
we were spilling the tea, as the kids say. That's it's a whole new Pat. That's kind of fun, bud. I like it. I feel like we can each help each other be less tight.
Can I now leave the seat up at your house? Or can we call it even?
Nope. Definitely not. I am so sorry. Put it all down. Hello, everybody. I feel like it's been eons since we've all hung out together. I have had a very busy weekend. I'm thrilled to be here with everybody. Cheers. I will admit I'm a little sad today. My younger son just left. I'm so thrilled for him to go for his junior fall abroad. And I don't know if we'll be able to go visit him. So I'm like, don't know when I'll see him, but I'm very thrilled for him, but sad.
That's amazing. And where abroad, or is it top secret?
He's doing, Rome, Madrid, and London. So,
two of my favorite cities in there, at least.
Which two? Rome and Madrid?
Rome and Madrid.
Yeah.
I love London, but
I sort of feel the same, although I've only done like a very small amount of time in London, and it was when I was much younger. So,
kind of the same, yeah.
Yesterday, I was at a beautiful service for my longtime acting coach, my mentor, whom I adored, brilliant acting coach, who passed away about a month ago. And it was like a 5-hour just show put on for him, like singers and actors and
that's
people
nice.
relaying stories. Yeah. So it was beautiful, but also like I'm just a little heavy. And then there's like the whole world.
Right. And that is a long time, even if it's an amazing 5 hours of.
It's a long time. It's a long time. Yeah, for sure.
But,
there were people I hadn't seen there for like 20 years. I met him 30 years ago. I taught for him for almost 2 decades. Like I just, it kind of like catapulted me back to all of my dreams when I was fresh out here and everything. And, it's just like a funny time capsule, I guess.
Yeah. It does make you reflect on a lot of things when you see somebody, very old who you mentored and he mentored you. I mean,
crazy. But a good long life and just a real beautiful person. So how about you? How are you? How was your weekend?
Good. My dad turned 85 last week, but so we did a little celebration today earlier. So
cheers to Papa. That's Papa. That's nice. 85.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good.
85 and still wants to get on a ladder and go on his 2-story building to put some solar on himself.
Oh my God, that is so funny. My mother-in-law is 80 and she's the same way. She will be like, after the hurricane, she'll be like with a chainsaw cutting down trees so they don't, limbs and everything.
Right.
It's like, oh my God, what are you doing?
I mean, honestly, there is a generational gap. Like our parents' generation, they worked their, I'm not saying we're lazy, but they are like, let's handle it. I will just, did you die? You didn't die. Don't be such a pussy, Pat.
In my day. Totally. That's funny. And thank you all for all of your very kind words. I appreciate all of that. Yeah, I know. As opposed to, I was getting so mad at Josh because he was like, he was driving and waiting for us to get out, and I was at the airport saying goodbye, but I was also trying to fix his whole system with AT&T because of the eSIM card, all this boring stuff about unlocking a phone. But Josh was worried that he was going to be told to keep moving, and he's like, okay, we got to say goodbye now. I'm like, wait, like that's what you're worried about? That somebody might tell you to keep on moving? Just then you'll keep on moving. But different levels of responding to law enforcement.
Right. I do have to say, like today I was out in the public getting sandwiches for, my dad's favorite sandwich spot.
Right.
And every person I interacted to today was like the happiest, bubbliest, like Zen Buddhist, put it out in the world to be nice. And everyone was just jolly. I ran into like 100 jolly people today. So
that is really nice.
yeah,
Why
it was kind of
were
nice.
they
I don't know.
jolly?
I don't know.
What's going their way?
I mean, they were all about to eat some pretty good sandwiches, so I'll give them that. But
Okay. But you're talking about
still,
yeah.
the public. The public was just so happy today.
Yeah.
Frolicking.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
So if you have the somber, I'm going to bring the frolic, and
Okay,
we'll just
you
sort
bring
of
the
meet in the
frolic,
middle.
'cause
And we'll
I'm
throw
in
some
kind
Lego
of-
videos in there,
Yeah,
and
I'm
it'll
in
all
a-
work out.
I'm in not the best mood, so I'm gonna just count on my beautiful community to lift me up. I'll tell you, this was like the Luigi thing. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about it, honestly, except for like the things I've read. To me, I feel like he got totally fucked. I don't get it. I just don't think I don't get it. Yeah, maybe he just wanted to say his piece. Maybe it was I don't know. I think it could have been a trial that was a mistrial, or that was just or ended because of what do they call it when the jury knows that he's guilty? Nullification. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. The rigmarole of trials is taxing on a lot of people, and I kind of feel like, at the end of the day, he knew he did it, and I think that might have played into it. And also, look, he can get to. I know that would have brought a lot of visibility to the cause and whatnot, but he can also still do that. There's nothing preventing him from writing. He just usually, as a prisoner, you can't necessarily profit. They put some stipulations on profit, but like he could. I don't know. I think we're going to hear a lot more from him, I think, in the future.
I hope so, because I also will say that at the very beginning, I remember we were reading things about that lawyer, his lawyer, that made us all feel like she was being hired to kind of undermine his case. But I don't know. All right.
It's interesting.
Okay. So as always, we will ask everybody, please make sure to like and subscribe, smash that notification bell, all that good stuff. And let's get on to the truth about the way we really need to handle these people. This is Tennessee County Commissioner Joe Carr talking to a representative of Flock, telling him how we all feel.
Your CEO recently, 3 weeks ago, he gave a TED Talk called "Can a Camera on Every Corner Make Us Safer?" Do you agree with that statement? Do you think a camera on every corner will make Americans safer?
I'm not here to speak for a CEO.
Okay. I kind of thought that's why you were here. It is the 250th anniversary of our country's founding. One of our founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin, once famously said that those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. And I actually have a problem with this resolution because I think it needs to be amended. It's too open-ended. It says that we shall not renew it until such concerns have been addressed, as laid out by Gary Stidham and written in the resolution. And I have some concerns with what Gary and what Mark are talking about. I don't think we need to renew this at all. I don't think the people of Sullivan County want this. I believe that Flock right now is one of the most hated companies in America. They are one of the most corrupt companies in America. And quite frankly, sir, I don't think we can make America great again without hanging your CEO publicly for treason. Your company is an enemy of the American people.
We're not going to threaten violence to anybody.
I love
We're
that
not gonna threaten violence
so much. This is a city councilman just saying we need a public execution of your CEO.
Yeah. Bring back public shaming. Truly. Yeah. I mean, The violence that's administered by the state against all of us is always accepted. It's always fine. And we are maybe allowed peaceful protest parades. That's it. Peaceful protest against people who are like committing social murder every day, if not all out murder with the help of all these AI and flock and surveillance and militarization of our Gestapo cops. I mean, it's just like never ends.
Yeah, and Flock sends out their douchebaggery guys. Like, this guy clearly just reeks of corporate disinterest and like, I have to answer to you fucks.
Yeah.
And you're not the CEO. You're just some guy and you're here, you know. I love what's happening in city councils around the U.S. right now. People are raising hell, and now you've got actual city councilmen themselves raising hell, and it's beautiful.
That is beautiful. We definitely need a larger critical mass of that energy because they are not nearly scared enough of us. I mean, I think there's an initial fear, which is why they've ramped up the cops and the detention centers and the surveillance. But now they're not scared because now they know that they have the most powerful tools at their disposal. So, yep.
They are strategizing like a motherfucker.
They sure are. All right, here we go. I'm going to find my joy. Sorry, here I go.
Forced joy.
Okay, I haven't even had a sip of wine. That's a big problem.
Oh, come on.
Now, here's the solution. Okay, 1 second. I got it. Spin again. Da, da, da. That I could use also. I could use an LOL. Por favor.
Should we do a long one with the little refresher on Palantir? I really like that.
Yeah,
clip.
let's do that one.
Here we go. This is from Juice Media on AI.
I love watching your TikTok, which is next level. And clearly that's expressed by my 13-year-old son.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
Hello, I'm from the government. In today's episode of How Billionaires Are Fucking Everything Everywhere All at Once, we look at AI data centers built to house your digital prison. These windowless tumors are popping up everywhere. Sure, they poison neighborhoods, guzzle water, and jack up your energy bill, but look at all they give back. Shrimp Jesus slop and a chatbot addiction that's turning Homo sapiens into Homo shit for brains. Sadly for the broligarchy, Homo sapiens are resisting. In Texas, Utah, London to Vancouver, to the point the feds are now targeting anti-AI extremists like this lady who tried to stop a data center, and that is why the broligarchs are searching for new places to build them. If only there was a country with lots of gas and a government that does whatever America says. Hi, I'm from the Australian government, and we're excited that Australia will be home to a shit ton of new AI data centers. So excited, they're being fast-tracked even before we've legislated regulations. Like Victoria, where we approved this mega data center in 75 days with fuck all community consultation. And in New South Wales, we said hold our beer and fast-tracked 15 of them. Sure, we already have enough data centers to run the world's essential services, banks, hospitals, LUIGI. So what are all these new mega ones for? That's confidential, which is code for stealing your work and helping Palantir bomb brown kids. Why the rush? Here's the lobby group to explain. Hi, I'm from Data Centers Australia. As the peak lobby group for data centers, our job is to hype up the AI bubbles so governments get FOMO and say, shut up and take our resources, even though they create fuck all jobs and pretty much all the money flows overseas. Morons. And if that sounds familiar, that's because it's exactly what gas companies do. Coincidentally, gas companies are some of our loyal members, which is why when Albo said data centers might be powered by renewables, we stepped in and said, sit down! No wonder so many chumps are rushing to approve gas-powered data centers. Hi, I'm from the NT government. We're backing this mega AI data center powered by gas from fracking the Beetaloo Basin, as well as this massive one with ties to El Duce. Sure, this threatens our precious aquifers, but don't worry, this genius said that's a good thing, because if the NT has too much water, it'll flip the Earth's axis. Morons everywhere. And not just in Australia. Here in Canada, Banker Daddy and Oil Karen want this giant gas-powered tumour. In the UK, over 100 data centres plan to run on gas. Europe's about to be covered in them. Just what we need when half the planet's on fire. And in all cases, AI and gas companies get billions, while you get approximately Fuck all. But don't forget Shrimp Jesus. The one thing the Brologarchy fears is a community that comes together, like New York, which just imposed the first statewide moratorium, and these Aussies who came together to say no. So if you like not living in the Matrix on a waterless, dead-ass planet ruled by billionaires, you might want to join calls for a moratorium on data centers while you still can. This has been a message from your local government franchise. Good luck. Authorized by Sarah Connor.
No,
They do good work. They do good work. Every once in a while, they're a little like lib coded, but for the most part, I feel like
Right.
they do good work.
That wasn't even the one I thought I was expecting.
Well, I have two of them, and they have similarities. And because I didn't have a ton of time, I didn't want to. Oh, there's another one. No, we can hear you. Hello. Well, anyway, I have the other one pulled also, so we can always go to the other one as well. Okay, let's just get into the first bit, which is Luigi. I could hear you at first, Pat. You can't hear me? I don't know what's going on.
There it is. Now I can hear you. All right. Can you hear me?
Oh, you muted me. I could hear you the whole time.
Somehow my plug to the mic came out.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. Sorry, my
fault.
0
days without a technical glitch.
I'm just touchy-feely with my hands, and I touch the cord, and I can't blame Palantir or StreamYard for this one.
All right, let's just take a look. Since we are starting with the whole Luigi, we've been following this obviously for what is it, almost 2 years now. Luigi Mangione will appear this morning. This was on Friday. Yeah, Friday. This morning for a surprise conference in his federal case. Plea incoming. We'll see. This is Eric Ubelacher, who is following live for Courthouse News. He says that Luigi is walked in with his beige prison garb. He stops briefly in the front of the room as officers remove his cuffs. Thompson's family is looking at him. One of them shakes her head. We're off. Karen Agnifilo says, Mr. Mangione is prepared to plead guilty to the indictment at this time. Garnett asks Luigi if this is true. He responds, yes. He then proceeds to say his statement. After years of enduring severe pain from a broken back, navigating the obstacles of the health insurance system, I learned that UHC would be holding an annual investor conference in New York City on December 4th, 2024. In November 2024, I traveled from outside of New York State to Manhattan. I then emailed UHC leadership, posing as an investor at a firm managing over $50 billion in assets and requesting information about the conference. Luigi continues, unlike my previous interactions with insurers, I received an immediate response within an hour. He continues, I traveled to New York with the intent to shoot Brian Thompson. On the morning of December 4th, 2024, I shot Mr. Thompson in Manhattan and he died. When I did so, I understood that my actions would place him in fear of death or serious bodily injury. Luigi continues, I knew what I was doing was illegal. I don't know, folks.
Yeah, I do not know either, but in Minecraft, sometimes you got to do some things. And that's where we're at here.
What is the deal with his lawyer? I really don't understand the whole double jeopardy thing, because we were all assuming that there'd be jury nullification, or there wouldn't even, be able to find a jury who could be impartial or something.
I don't know on that one. I personally, I didn't really like his chances of jury nullification working. I don't know.
Yeah. But at that
they're going
level,
to screen so deep for the 10 that they put on the.
Yeah. Well, we will see. It was really lovely, though, in the face of, just this new study last week that we shared, which was not 68,000 people would be saved if we had Medicare for all. 114,000 lives would be saved every year if we had Medicare for all. And
Oh, and $1 trillion.
yeah,
A trillion.
dollars
They
over
called it
10
a trillion.
over what, 10 years or something.
Oh.
It's horrific, and nobody's doing anything about it. We'll show this a little later, but when Jeffries was not the Speaker of the House from 2013 to 2019, he was a co-sponsor of Medicare for All. And just like everybody who starts to get close to power, he walked away from that, just the way we've got DSA people walking away from abolish ICE and abolish the police or defund the police, right? Like it's just
crazy. And he's like, yeah, I used to support it, but now the Republicans did some bad stuff. So we just got to roll that back and then get on a path towards affordable health care.
Yep.
So because the Republicans did something bad, you can't have the good thing that was right the whole time. That a study just came out, shows $1 trillion in savings and fuck ton of lives. But now you're saying that the Democrats, now that we're going to get power again, so instead of pushing for the policy, we're going to go back to pushing towards a pathway to a policy to help a few people.
And just like, the difference between when Dana Bash was questioning the liar that she had on, whose name, and now I can't even remember which thing it was, but she didn't even have a response to him with everything he said. Was she wasn't talking to Kash Patel. Who was she talking to? That interview RFK Jr. about measles and COVID and all that. She couldn't even come up with a response. She had no real follow-up. She got flustered. When it comes to Palestine and genocide, then she's got all the Hezbollah, all the talking points. When it comes to fucking Thanksgiving, they can all go after Francesca Wong. And then Kristen Welker had Jeffries on today, doesn't ask like, well, what are you then suggesting, if not Medicare for all, which she doesn't say any new study, just shows it could save 114,000 lives. Why isn't that worth it to you? Do you have people who are donating to you who don't want you? Like, have some fucking courage to call him out. How many lives is it? How much money are you getting from Big Pharma and healthcare, health insurance industry? And how many lives is that worth to you? Like, you could say that. Do you condemn the health insurance industry? No. Nothing. She was just like, okay.
She was useless, but she was useful for the people who pay her. And, I got to say, all the DSA cucks in the world who are out there endorsing Jeffries, go fucking fuck yourself.
Yep.
Fucking Minecraft, end it.
In Minecraft.
What the fuck?
All right. Well, should we just show that Jeffries thing now? Since
why not?
All right. So here he is. Asshole.
All right, let's move on to Medicare for All. You co-sponsored Medicare for All legislation from 2013 to 2021. You've not co-sponsored it since you became Democratic leader. Will you put Medicare for All up for a vote if you become Speaker?
Well, listen, these are all conversations that the House Democratic Caucus is going to have. Right now, we're focused on November 3rd, not January 3rd. What we are promising the American people is that we're going to fight to make health care affordable for every single American. And we know there's a lot of damage that Republicans have done that we've got to restore and repair. For instance, Republicans have enacted the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. More than $1 trillion or so has been cut from Medicaid, and what you're going to have is about 14 million Americans lose access to health care.
Do you personally support Medicare for All? Do you personally support Medicare for All?
No, as you indicated, I haven't co-sponsored the Medicare for All legislation that has been introduced over the last several years. I do think we need to figure out how to fix our broken healthcare system and then build something better once we repair the damage that has been done. Now, that will include doing things like extending the Affordable Care Act tax credits so that more than 20 million people who have seen their health insurance premiums skyrocket, in some cases by up to $1,000 a month. That's not sustainable, and that's something that Donald Trump and Republicans have visited upon the American people.
Just to be very clear, though, as a Democratic leader in the House, would you vote for or against Medicare for all?
I think, as you've indicated in your question to me, it's not legislation that I currently am co-sponsoring or that I support.
Okay.
But we do support the notion that we've got to find a path forward to fix our broken healthcare system and make healthcare affordable for every single American.
All right, let's turn.
Yeah, fuck him so hard.
I mean, and again, like 114,000 people are killed because of our for-profit health insurance industry every year. 114,000 every year. And nobody says, do you condemn this disgusting, depraved, murderous industry? But they will say it all day long about Hamas or Hezbollah.
Yeah, and Jeffries is obviously trying not to get clipped with a no on Medicare for all, so he can pretend I never said that, when they fake pretend to support it down the road. But it's just so clear that they don't want to fix the broken system.
Yeah.
No. I mean, to bring up ACA fucking vouchers or whatever, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, he seemed like ludicrous. Like, why would I fix the whole system? I could just get some points for our party by undoing a couple little fringe things.
And by the way, I mean, I just don't know really what's going to happen. There is a chance that with the slate of far left DSA people who are either walking things back or having so many tens of millions of dollars spent against them, or because they already did that, and we have people like David Crowley as the Democrat in Wisconsin, where the Republican candidate for governor is running ads against him showing how he's pro AI and pro data centers. Like, I don't know that we're going to have some huge, or not we, I mean, as the United States, that there's going to be some huge blue wave, because they all suck. They suck.
Yeah. Look, I think there will be a blue wave, but the problem is the system is at a point where it knows it's under pressure and needs to spit something out as a win for the left, right? So we could make that actually Medicare for all, but what they're doing right now is making it so we'll be okay with something that's like a third of the way towards that or something. It's they're setting themselves up to say we can't do Medicare for all, but we know the system's broken, so everybody gets a fucking coupon for your local hospital for $80.
But first you have to be a Pell Grant recipient who started a new business that's been in business for, I mean, it's like all that bullshit, which is why when people talk about the Democrats having a big tent, I do not want to, that's not my tent. That's a right-wing tent. I'm not right-wing. And that's why the whole bullshit about there's no right or left. No, there is a difference between right or left. There should be. And yes, it's also the bottom versus the top. Fine. But like, you need to run with an affirmative message on universal policies, human dignity, solidarity, international working class solidarity, all these things. Like, these people are not my people. They are my enemy.
But instead, when you get your coupon, they're going to say it was the biggest improvement to the healthcare system in 20 years. They'll just go back to Obama and say that was the biggest one before that. And they'll be right. But it's like, okay, it's not the change we need by even a fraction. Like, it's
just like Biden passed the biggest climate bill of all time.
Exactly that is what we'll get.
Yeah. All right. So because we know how horrified the whole country is by our health insurance system that slaughters us daily, People were thrilled. Mostly the response was really positive for Luigi. There were Luigi songs. We pulled a few. There are Luigi memes. There's Luigi, people were coming out like fangirling, fanboying, fan everything for him. Like they perp walked him in front of everybody like he was Superman or something. They then kind of shut everything down. They disparaged the people who were saying free Luigi and pro Luigi, right? Like all of this stuff happened. They wanted to prosecute him as a terrorist. And now we have this Zio-Nazi piece of shit head of NYPD, whatever, police commissioner, Jessica Tisch, telling us all what's appropriate for us to feel in our hearts.
And to those who idolize Luigi Mangione, I say this: violence is not a cause, murder is not a message, and a killer is certainly not a hero. Now I'd like to introduce the FBI's Assistant Director in Charge for the New York Field Office, Jim Varnapel.
What's she wearing around her stupid fucking neck?
Yeah, not lost on anybody, which is, look, it's a Jewish symbol. It shouldn't represent Zionism and the evil shit going on, but it does now. Let's be honest. If you're blazingly
really flat,
flaunting that at the podium in a government position.
Yeah. She's disgusting. Just fucking disgusting. Mom Donnie should get rid of her. Disgusting. Okay, let's sing a Luigi song.
Yes.
Just for a little bit of fun. This is Carsey Blanton. We have shown this before, but we're bringing it back. And then we actually have another one also, which is fun.
That is why the man said this revolution will be telepathic.
One morning in Manhattan, young Luigi Mangione pulled a hit and run with a ghost of a gun. The workaday commuters passing through Midtown beheld an unrepentant psychopathic killer lying dead on the ground. Everybody's got a limit. You can bet your life on that. Just another handsome cynic till the minute that he snapped. Benito Mussolini at Piazza Campidoglio, 1926, opened up his bag of tricks. Along comes Violet Gibson in her raggedy clothes, and then an unrepentant psychopathic killer lost the tip of his nose. Everybody's got a limit. You can bet your life on that. Pretty head with nothing in it till the minute that she snapped. Everybody's got a limit. You can bet your life on that. You can fool us every minute till the minute that we snap.
Beautiful.
That's good, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she's great. Okay, wait. There were some comments that I also really loved. I wanted to go back because sometimes we go by everything so quickly and then we don't get to them. Never been a more unpopular candidate than Donald J. Trump every time he ran, and the Dems lost two out of 3 of those elections. If the Democratic Party isn't a dead end, what the fuck is? I think everybody truly needs to know that is a dead end. Absolutely.
And you have to look at who's coming after him, and they're going to be super unpopular. So they're going to be one of the most unpopular Republicans running ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at least Trump has his dedicated core sycophants,
I mean,
who is like doing crazy shit for JD Vance or Rubio. Like their
Peter
own guy
Thiel.
hated both
Peter
of them.
Thiel.
Yes, of course.
Peter
but
Thiel
like
for
the
JD.
public.
Yeah, no, you're right. Absolutely. And then these are all about Jessica Tisch, right? Mamdani should be relentlessly heckled for keeping Tisch employed and wonder who her boss is. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what that feels like to me now, seeing that necklace. It's just disgusting. I mean, all of this, like we triple tapped a school full of little girls. And then also we used experimental military weapons on the student sports hall in Iran. We'll get to that when we're talking about Iran. But like illegal. It's illegal. We are just slaughtering civilians, but we're supposed to feel bad about Brian Thompson. Okay. And yeah, I'm sorry. The audio was low. I am very sorry. We were just saying before we came on, we check everything. If it's low in the studio, we take it out. We export the audio. We make it louder, like 4 times louder. But then somehow when we go live, it does that. I am so sorry.
And then Palantir / StreamYard does something.
Yeah.
And then just gets
yeah.
Do you know last episode, not that it mattered. We don't care about being monetized. I mean, it's great that your donations really help us. And that's our main. YouTube itself pays us like $0. Yeah. So when they unmonetize it, but one of the guys that made one of the damn Lego videos, which has an AI song, copyrighted his AI song. And we got dinged for playing his copyrighted AI song for Palestine, for Iran.
By the way, we got a second one also.
Oh my God. It's so like, dude, if you're making Lego videos for Iran, you want them shared as much as fucking possible. That's the whole point. And you make some AI song and copyright it? What the fuck? They were not one of the big ones that we use all the time. So we will never use those fucks again.
Yeah, although I'll tell you that the other one that we got, it wasn't a copyright, it was a demonetization, was Persia Boy. Yep, I know. So we absolutely could use a producer. Yes, we do. We need a producer. We need a researcher. We need a lot of stuff. Okay, so I guess the next time we land, because I just I called an audible on that. So the next time we land on RMI, we have another Luigi song that we can play.
Excellent. We could scatter them about.
Yeah.
Why not?
But actually, so that's kind of all we have to say specifically about Luigi. We can.
There you go.
There you go.
The wheel hath spoken.
The wheel placed itself up on the screen and said, "Spin me." My empty glass said, "Pour another one out." Okay, wait 1 second. Too many. I need a wheel spinner. That's the thing we really need.
I'm going to use this GIF until the end of time.
Okay. Yeah, that's a really good one. Okay. Big glass. And I'm already kind of slurring my words because I didn't sleep very well.
Slowly.
Oh, what?
There it is.
Look at that. All right. Should we round out our Luigi?
Yeah, I'll rock the Luigi. Let's do it.
All right. Here we go. This is where did it go? This is Healthcare is a Joke.
That is why the man said this revolution will be telepathic.
Yo, this is for the ones stuck in the grind, drowning in debt, losing their mind. Luigi lit the match, set the flame to the system. Now his name echoes, y'all better listen. Spotlights on stages set, truth in the air. The quiet hum of a world that don't care. Machines turn gears, grind, profits climb. They stack dollars off lives, ain't no crime. But Luigi stepped in, broke the facade, took a symbol of greed and turned it to a cause. Brian Thompson, corporate face, fake smile, but his death made the internet go wild. Memes flew, pain turned into a roar. A billion voices laugh while they settle the score. Not cause it's funny, nah, we laugh to survive in a world where the poor barely make it alive. Luigi's hands didn't just pull a trigger, They gripped centuries of rage, made it bigger. A villain, a hero, who's to decide? All I know is he made the machine collide. Legends are made when the system don't see, when the voiceless rise, when the broken breathe. Luigi Mangione, a name in the wind, a shadow, a story of where we've been. Heroes or villains, it don't even matter. Folklore's born when the chains get shattered. 30 years from now, they won't know the man, but his legend will live in the stories that stand. Not about Thompson, just a footnote in time, a cog in the wheel of the corporate grind. But Luigi, he's a mirror held high, reflecting our anger, the reasons we cry. They called him a monster, the evening news, but the streets called him truth, something we could use. Because healthcare's a game where the players lose. Bills pile up while CEOs cruise. And Luigi, he snapped, couldn't take it no more. One shot turned a man to a metaphor. Catharsis and chaos, memes and pain. A digital uprising in a world insane. The machine rolls on, untouched, unfazed, but the spark in Luigi ignited a blaze. Legends are made when the system don't see, when the voiceless rise, when the broken breathe. Luigi Mangione, a name in the wind, a shadow, a story of where we've been. Heroes or villains, it don't even matter. Folklore's born when the chains get shattered. He didn't plan it, didn't want to be a king, but the world's heavy hands made him swing. A rallying cry, a symbol of fight. In the darkest corners he became the light. But legends ain't clean, they're messy, they're flawed. A patchwork quilt of the lives that they've scarred. Love him or hate him, Luigi's a sign of a world where the system leaves us behind. So here's to Luigi, a name in the dark, a man or an idea, a match to a spark. The machine keeps turning, but the story remains. A whisper in the wind, a break in the chains. Call him a hero, a villain, a mistake, but Luigi's legend's a road we can take. Legends are made when the system don't see, when the voiceless rise, when the broken breathe. Luigi Mangione, a name in the wind, a shadow, a story of when we've been.
Love that.
I love it too. And also, I am feeling this really a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack that we don't know yet.
We need to bring some legal person on. Maybe we can bring Jen on who can like dissect the case for us, because it does not make sense to me.
Well, look, odds are this does get him out of the New York case because double jeopardy is real, right? So odds are whatever the outcome of this case is probably the end of his murder charges and whatnot. But he's putting his whole life at the mercy of the judge here. And and she's already said, so the crimes that he's admitted to apparently could get him 25 years, which is, you know, not as heavy as it could have been with murder charges. But the judge said already publicly, well, I don't want to put words in her mouth, but something to the effect of, don't count on that ruling, that number being my number somehow. So it's like, is she leaning towards somehow finding a larger number? Does she have legal authority to give a bigger number?
I read something that said that he could get life. Like he could get life and then maybe time off for good behavior. Like, yes, maybe the lowest would be 20 to 25 years. But like, I mean, he's already spent a year and a half, almost, a year and a half. I can't imagine spending one night in prison. There was also somebody saying that federal prisons are better than state. I mean, I don't know. But what I also do remember is that at the very beginning, there was an outcry about his defense attorney.
Right.
And then people seemed to decide that, no, she was a great fit for him. That used to be a prosecutor, but now she's his defense attorney. But like, she also, I don't know. Anyway, I need to look at more. I was just really depressed that
in her defense, what she's done up to this point was brilliant from my perspective. But I don't understand this movie yet, so I don't want to speak to it.
Yeah,
but she's got a lot of stuff thrown out, and she's We'll see. We need to
Yeah.
investigate more.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jen says that she's a brilliant litigator, which she might truly be, but what if she doesn't want him to get out? Like, she could be brilliant. And I mean, I don't know enough about it, so I'm not going to like put out spurious stuff, but I also just am really curious why that had to go that way. And I have not yet gotten a really satisfying rundown of why the double jeopardy thing was such a worry, when it seemed like it'd be impossible to find a jury who would put him away. But who knows?
They're good at finding juries. They cook the jury pool. But look, if it turns out that she is somehow in on some action to make him rot in jail, look, that could get a mistrial and retrial, you know. So
yeah,
I'm not saying that's the case, but
maybe
like, if we uncover the dirt on her, maybe we can start freeing Luigi again.
Yeah, free Luigi and get rid of health insurance entirely. What the guy say? Public hangings for all the CEOs. That's where we need to go.
He didn't even have the in Minecraft, so you know, if he can do it, I can say it. Right?
Yeah, he's a Tennessee city council member, and he's just talking about public hangings. All right, so Jeffries is a no on Medicare for all, so he's fine with 114,000 people being killed because of our health insurance industry. Let's hear how David Crowley feels about data centers and AI, the other, threat to all of our existences.
Mentioned. And so I do think that there's an opportunity for us to really become AI and a data hub for not only for the entire country, but for the entire globe, and really sets us really apart in making sure that we can continue to invest in businesses and companies here.
So it went off really quickly at the end, but that is a post from Republican Tom Tiffany, who is his opponent running in the general to be the Wisconsin governor.
Yeah, and Crowley's such a jackass that he gave space for the Republican to be pro AI and pro data centers, but just better than him on it all. Because this guy, look at how villainous Crowley is. Like, I support him, but we need to regulate them and not just the hub of the world. Like
the hub of the world.
Like, that's kind of crazy, he could say. And it's like, I just want a few.
Yeah, exactly. When we know what, and he had the same kind of answer, that same kind of like, oh, well, deregulate or breaking up big banks isn't going to solve racism. He was like, well, no, a moratorium. I mean, that's not going to fix everything, and it's all here to stay. And then again, even in the framing, I mean, just, apart from clips that I see online, I don't really watch any cable news or regular corporate news shows, but I listen to Kristen Welker just to see on Sundays like what they're saying on those shows. And all of her framing is like, because I think she was talking to Ro Khanna, who said that like we should have a moratorium. He actually was great talking about Francesca Hong and saying like people made so much about Thanksgiving. It's like, I like Thanksgiving, but like she came into the race fighting against data centers, and look what's going on. And she's like, but how are we going to compete with China? China has a fifth of our data centers, and their AI is faster, cheaper, better. Like, so
yeah, and
we lost that race anyway.
And look, we shouldn't gloss over it, because even in China, there's a revolution of people. The young people are hating the AI,
right? Like
they are here, even in China. And in China, they're getting good stuff from their AI. And yet the youth are still like, look, where are we in this equation? Even in China, who is doing AI a million times more pro the public than we are.
I mean, but also China produces other things. China takes care of its citizens. So like the only thing that we can talk about is how, in the arms race of AI, everything just has, anything that China accomplishes is somehow like weaponized against us in the media and our politicians, right? Like,
well, we should be in the race for healthcare. Well, they already beat us to that.
Yeah.
So
we're
now
not
we're
going to
not
even talk about that. Yeah. Not going to talk about that. Not going to talk about how they've lifted people out of poverty. Not going to talk about their renewable energy, their solar panels, like all of that stuff. Not going to talk about the fact that they have a better EV. Not going to talk about they have better AI, cheaper, like not going to talk about any of that. How are we going to beat them? We're not. We lost. We're already, and by the way, like, and I'm glad, but like we're pulling all of our military existence in Asia out, because we clearly, and we've now blasted this, the whole world knows, we can't even defeat Ansar Allah. We also can't defeat China. Our munitions, everything is at, bottom of the barrel. We have Navy, military people out, sailors out on ships, like scrawling things, furious at their country for sending them to a war that there was no reason to get into, and also that we lost. So like, we've lost everything. Don't worry about AI. How about could we just make anything here? Education, school, parks, happy people, like something.
The public is very tuned in, especially, and this is where, look, they hate AI and they hate data centers. Like that's the one rub that's the public is kind of agreed on here, right?
Yep.
But deeper than that, they know also our healthcare system is broken.
Yep.
And so when you have the leader of the Democratic Party coming out and saying, I'm not really for the most popular thing, and like the public is like, look, can we just have healthcare? Like, we know you're evil as fuck. You're not going to give us any of these policies. The public is now like, China's communist. Well, can I have some communism?
I mean, seriously. Yeah.
Like, is that communism? Like if the news actually did any sort of chart at any point in, let's look at communist countries and what they have, and they're not even really communist, for fuck's sake. Yeah. But like all the fear mongering is like, okay, you mean we might get social programs here that pay for our healthcare? Like, okay.
Like we pay so much in taxes and we get nothing. We get nothing. War, genocide. And then the billionaires, and like now all the compensation for the companies that are furious about the tariffs that affected them, but didn't affect them because they passed it on to the consumer by jacking up all the prices. They are now getting compensated. We get nothing. Again, I mean, it is such a Ponzi scheme. We're just like truly transferring all of our money to the wealthiest people in the world. Let's just talk a little bit about that communist scare tactic. Two-time loser Hillary Clinton wants to advise people on how to beat Trump. The perfect person to ask.
You're not going to convince Republican voters in Michigan. And the real fight will be how do we make sure that people who voted for Haley feel comfortable voting for Abdul El Sayed, and how do we get independents to feel comfortable? And you can see that it's not just about Michigan, but the Republican messaging is communist, socialist. It's going to be a very effective attack. And so people on the left have to be prepared to answer that and to be effective at answering it.
Do you think communist is an effective attack in 2026?
Well, all I know is that's the attack that Trump is leading with. And I assume they've tested it. And I assume that they have reason to believe that it's effective, or they wouldn't be beating the drum on it, because now it's not just him. Vance has done it. Others are doing it. They are trying to, bring back scare tactics about our candidates. And, it didn't work in New York. Mamdani was elected and there was a lot of money spent against him. When you have an effective candidate on the left, it still is going to be a close race on our side.
Maybe because you keep saying stupid shit and you're actually a Republican just helping pave the way for them to continue these spurious accusations. Nobody cares anymore. Capitalism sucks. Take a look around.
Yeah, maybe if you didn't attack your own voters who want these things.
Yeah.
And maybe if you didn't attack the candidates that most represent your own voters in your own fucking party.
Yep.
I mean, these DSA light fucks are not your enemies. Like they're the ones that are going to keep you from the guillotines. Mostly, they're going to placate the public and give us a little crumb enough to like make people not, you know, Luigi people in Minecraft as much.
I mean, truly, like, because she isn't stupid. I mean, she's awful, but she's not stupid. She knows. Why did Barack Obama picked up the phone to crush Bernie? Not because of Bernie specifically, but because there were millions of people who were excited about possibly getting what we all deserve. People were angry and they wanted to take some of their wealth back. They wanted their healthcare. They did not want endless wars. That's why he picked up the phone then. He picked up the phone again to shut down the NBA boycott strike. Yeah. Like, so these people know what they're doing. They're not crushing Bernie or LeBron. They're crushing us. Like, she knows what the voters want. They all do.
Of course. She's so sad Mamdani won. She's so sad that Zionists are losing.
Yeah. And Abdul El Sayed. Absolutely. Yeah. And then you've got Psaki and Liz Smith remembering the good old days when we didn't have to deal with the voters. Like, saying it out loud.
It is really, and I want to bring Liz Smith into this conversation because Liz and I grew up in Democratic politics. We're still young, of course, but we grew up in Democratic politics together, and I think we both remember well when party leadership really selected the nominees. Now, you would never say it that way exactly, but they would.
But you can now.
Now we can. We're free. You know, they really did, because they would put money behind it. They would endorse. And now it looks very much like party leaders are not picking the nominees. In fact, party leaders pushing nominees is a negative. It's a negative in many of these races.
The gaslighting we all endured.
Yeah, and they're just owning it now. Yeah. Right? They're like, yeah, but the public finally has a say, right? Isn't that disgusting? What do you think about that? Oh my God. Like,
God, the good old days.
And even Liz Smith was like, "Oh, cringe! You brought up what I'm doing." Like,
yeah, I know. We're still doing that with all of the money.
She's like, "I'm still in this job just because you have a news job. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm still doing all the gaslighting every day."
Oh my God. I mean, you know, I've not dug into this enough, but I did like the headline. So forgive me if the real story isn't what it appears from this. But Mary Patola in Alaska rejects the endorsement from Kamala Harris. You know, that's the kind of energy that we need.
Oh, your dog is even stoked.
Yeah.
I don't know who she is, but she's now on my radar. Right? I like her.
I agree.
Great.
I totally. Hi. And then, okay. So remember when there was the, I know I've now mentioned this twice, but I'm starting to think it really was an op when Ken Klippenstein revealed, yeah, perfect. When Ken Klippenstein revealed that there was like a internal memo in Republicans saying that Francesca Hong would be the really difficult one to beat, and they preferred David Crowley because he would be easier to beat, right?
So you think that was a kayfabe?
Well, I just don't know, because now, and this might just be this guy doing like a button up on because, you know, as much as, even though she was like supposed to run away with it, Francesca Hong, she was 20 points up on numerous polls and then lost by 0.4%. So it was like, oh, the left hit a wall, and so the left can only go so far. Meanwhile, like, you know, there've been quite a few people, even though we might be critical of how they're stepping back and all of that, but like, if you look at the ledger, quite a few DSA or DSA adjacent or Bernie supported people, Mamdani supported people who the Hillary Clintons and Jeffries of the world did not want, who have won, right? So this lady, Hong, comes within 0.4%, and maybe that's still too close for comfort. And so over at, what is this, Puck News, Peter Hamby is now saying, oh, inside the GOP's 349-page Oppo research dossier that Republicans were preparing to drop on Francesca Hong if she won the Dem nomination in Wisconsin, it's a doozy. So, that also just might be a ploy to just say, like, just to like really drive that nail into the coffin. But don't worry about it, guys, because she's already at the fucking Unity breakfast with the guy who wants to be the data and AI hub of the world. So the coffin's already sealed.
Yeah. That report being leaked does feel to me like, okay, leftists, come on. She was going to get cooked. Don't,
They're just
this was inevitable. It's not, we're not the bad guys here. We saved you.
Yeah. I'm sure you're right. Whether or not that actually exists and it wasn't just like more Thanksgiving tweets, which good, whatever. But yes, that was certainly meant to say, bless you. Yeah. Electability. Exactly. Electability, inevitability.
Yeah.
The inevitability of data centers and AI, and the electability of the right-wing corporate corrupt Democrats.
And look, when you got nothing, electability is your argument, because you're like, oh, the position's great. I wish we lived in this peace and harmony, yoga world where everybody hugs it out. But in the real world, that stuff can't get done. So they would have lost the election with those like give you healthcare messages
that the rest of the industrialized world has. And that the whole
public
country
polling supports. Yeah. Absolutely.
Crazy.
But you can just put that out there. Like they're unelectable. That's why the party is not going with them. Period. End of story.
And here, just, Cassie Pritchard telling Searchlight Institution how DSA must moderate in order to win. Don't you know?
There does seem to be, at least still for now, it may be smaller than some people argue, but there seems to be some near-term electoral benefit from moderating on policy, at least in ideologically moderate districts.
Yeah.
Where there and that's a difficult thing for us on the left to deal with, right? I do think if
why
we
is
ran,
that? I wonder why there's such a a pushback when that argument gets made from folks on the left, because just look at the facts.
Moderate. Go right. You got to go after those Romney Republicans.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous argument. I mean, there are cases where I will soften on somebody. I'll be okay if you are making a political calculation somewhat. There's wiggle room on the left for that stuff. But when you change your position on popular policies that are clearly fucking popular, that doesn't match your electoral strategy of needing to gain favorability among moderates, because moderates generally are in agreement with all the popular policies that the left pushes.
But also, words are power, and they are not moderate. Just like they're not data centers, they're surveillance centers. Like they're not moderate. They are radical. It is radical to think that your comfort, the comfort of your donors who already have more money than they will ever be able to spend, is more important than human dignity and human life. That is radical.
And what they need to start doing is, instead of putting, and this is the framing that the news will never do because they love this left, right, middle framing, right? But if you just went by issues and you went issue, percentage of people that support it, ones that don't, and you call that other group the radicals.
Right.
You got it. That's the whole thing. You got it right there. If you just frame it as 70% support this, I don't care if you want to call it independent left, right. I don't care. 80% supports. I don't care what you want to put it out. Your framing is bullshit, but on the issue, this is it. And that's how you should run elections strategically if you're on the left.
Absolutely, because
but you should do what's right, period. Don't get me wrong. But like, if you're looking at it from a win your election standpoint, you don't look at chunks of people. You look at the issue and what's going to drive them to vote.
Yeah. And also what people need. I mean, and I think the problem is like, yes, I think Wednesday, Sunday at 5, Thursday at 6. Yes. I think all of this discussion and framing and all of that is messaging and trying to convince people that like you're never going to get the things that you really want. It's just a, pony in the sky, whatever, magical fairy. And we know that, but I think there's no revolution if it's 600 of us, right? Like there's gotta be an enormous group of people who realize that this isn't working, and that the people who say they're going to do it for you and then get there and then don't, it's not happening. Like, we've now watched a decade go by, right? So I think it's really important for people to understand that for the most part, electoral politics, putting all your hope in that, is a complete failure, and to point out why these people are so insincere and evil. Actually, I think it's evil.
Absolutely. And look, the pivot is not to appear safe for your voters. The pivot is to what they're doing when they pivot wrongly on these issues, is to pivot to say to the Democratic Party, we're safe. And that's the opposite of what we need. We need people coming into it and going, you're not safe, because we're coming for what this fucking party stands for if you're going to take over the party, which you're not. But, that should be your message.
Yeah. This guy made me furious back when I was doing stuff for Bernie, Ta-Nehisi Coates, right? He's
hit and miss.
But
because he's brilliant.
Seems to have had an awakening. And I appreciate the way he discussed Gaza and genocide, and if that's not a red line, that how important and instructive it was to know that if genocide isn't a red line, they're not going to fight for you on anything, which is why anybody who endorsed Biden and then Kamala, I will never vote for. You have to know what supporting a genocide means about that person. Even if it's not disgusting enough to you that they endorse a genocide, it's also revealing that they will never fight for anything that's important. But this is him talking about destroying the boot.
He had Colin Powell, Condoleezza Rice, Barack Obama, Susan Rice, and then Kamala Harris, Linda Thomas Greenfield, which is seeing is a list of African Americans who actually only exist in those spaces because of the Black freedom struggle itself. That's the whole reason they're there, right? None of them would be there if not for the sacrifices of Martin Luther King, if not for the sacrifices of Coretta Scott King, if not for the sacrifices of Fannie Lou Hamer. What did they say we were supposed to do? Who did they imagine us being once we got into those roles? And I don't think they imagined us. In fact, I know, because they said it, as people that would justify dropping bombs on people who are weaker than us. I can tell you what the struggle means to me.
Sure.
And the struggle means to me not just that we would get the boot off of our necks, but that we would destroy the boot, that this would not happen to other people. And I don't think I'm out on a limb on that. I think that's always been the content of our struggle has always been that it's been bigger than us. That's been the fact of it. It is not the case that the civil rights movement just benefited Black Americans themselves. It is not the case that Dr. Martin Luther King, when he saw what was going on in Vietnam, said, well, I just need to shut up and just, make sure my people were okay. It is not the case that Fannie Lou Hamer was only concerned about Mississippi. It's not the case that W.B. Du Bois was not concerned about the world. It is not the case that James Baldwin, went over to Israel and was like, well, I can't talk about this because I'm only concerned about my people. What I'm trying to say is the best of us have always been concerned, beyond ourselves. If you want to say that the endpoint of our dream, of our struggle, is simply to, get us in, positions of power, to integrate us into the machine and to not, change the machine, then don't talk about Fannie Lou Hamer. Don't talk about Dr. Martin Luther King. Because that wasn't what their lives were about.
I mean, that international solidarity is such a crucial point of revolution.
It is. And, you could take it just to your own employment. People that make it up into management and just become management overnight. We've all seen those.
That ladder up. Yeah.
I remember when I worked in the casinos, it was like that. Pit bosses is the next sort of step if you want to get into management. And some of these guys they'd turn into cops overnight on you.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck happened? Can you ease into this a little bit? Like, you're just on the other team now. You made it into you're a different class than us, and that's what this argument is. It's the same. I mean, it's much more severe, obviously, but like,
it's like fraternity hazing. And then you get in there and you're like, now I'm going to turn around and do it to somebody beneath me. Yeah. But no, like, yeah, that's not actually going to liberate anybody, even the pit bosses. Anyway, it's a pretty bleak outlook there on the Democratic side, the party of opposition, as they like to call it.
And shout out to Zaina, who's going to start having a show on Saturdays. Let's go.
Okay, that's amazing.
Let's go, Zaina.
I love it.
Yes.
I love that.
Absolutely.
All right. I want to hear more about it. Here we go. Well, we're about to get another demonetization note, but whatever. We'll do it for a while.
Sorry if we're stealing the AI audio.
Yeah, I know. They stole it from us, and now they somehow have much bigger lawyers working on their side. All right, let's so let's see what happens. This account, Minecraft, it's Gandacraft. After posting this video, their whole YouTube channel was pulled. So,
oh God,
let's see if we think it's worth it.
I'm sick of the blue. I'm sick of the foam. I just want to walk the sweet path to home. The wind is a thief. It steals every breath. This endless horizon feels heavier than death. Why cry to the shore? But they close the gate. They lock me out here in the arms of fate. I'm so tired of the sea, so tired of the foam. I begged for the land, but they won't let me home. No, they won't let me home. Just waves and the dark.
I mean, okay, first of all, that wasn't a fun one. So sorry about that.
It wasn't, but that was a powerful one. I liked it.
Yeah.
It's really moving, you know?
I mean,
the music was great.
Yeah. It's insane what's happening over there. And one of the reasons apparently was because of Iran destroying the US base in Bahrain. Iran's destruction of a U.S. Navy base in Bahrain forced USS Lincoln to rely on a 2,200-mile supply line from Diego Garcia, triggering widespread logistical shortages and crew fatigue. These are some photos of the food that's being served to the sailors. That looks like a school lunch. Looks like U.S. public school lunch. This is what's being served to sailors on the USS Abraham Lincoln and USS Tripoli, published by USA Today. Supplies are going to get really low and morale is going to be at an all-time low. Trita Parsi posted this, which is graffiti on the USS Lincoln. And I will read you what some of it says if you can't see. He says, this image was sent to me from the field. These are messages U.S. servicemen in the Persian Gulf have scribbled on the dust of an aircraft flap. Be a good, he says guy, but a few people wrote and corrected him that it was goy. Be a good goy and do what Israel tells you to. Operation Epstein Fury. Peace deal number 64 incoming. All this for the Holy Land. He says, I have no frame of reference. I can't compare it to the sentiments of U.S. soldiers in previous conflicts, but I suspect there are new sentiments, or at least a new willingness to express them this openly and directly. But as one serviceman told me, what people in the media don't understand when they compare past conflicts to this one is this operation has no morale behind it. That makes a world of difference to service members deployed to undesirable locations indefinitely. Read that last part again. No morale, deployed to undesirable locations indefinitely. Trita Parsi's conclusion, when a war has no morale behind it, winning means that you simply end it. There is no winning in such an unjust war.
Yeah, and it's true. You know, the Lego ads themselves, like, you know, it's just it's propaganda put out by the other country, you know, countries we're at war with. But you can't counter it with anything on our side that's like, no, here's why we're really doing. No, the Lego video is right. I searched the internet and there's nothing making our side justified here at all. And I'm starving and I haven't seen the sun in a while in some cases, you know, like, I mean,
yeah.
And why don't they have MREs, you know, like little dry packs of food? Like, what the fuck is happening here? I mean, I know
but even that after 200 and some odd days, like that's like that's a astronaut food, right? Kind of deal.
Well, you just add boiling water to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, they make them good now. I'm just saying they're
you love them.
I love them.
You know, yeah. So I think, you know, there was no reason for this war. They know it. They know that this is doing the bidding of what Israel and Zionists want. They know very clearly that it was horrifically mishandled with 2 different war crimes, or 3 actually on the very first day. In addition to, you know, slaughtering the leader, the head of state of Iran during negotiations. There was the triple tap on the young children's school. There was also, and this was the report we were referring to before, that the Pentagon used untested missiles in the sports hall. New U.S. missile hit Iranian sports hall and school, analysis shows. The Pentagon used missiles untested in combat in a deadly attack that struck civilian sites near a military compound on February 28th, according to visual evidence examined by the Times and weapons experts. So this account sort of breaks it down. U.S. tested experimental tungsten pellet missile on female volleyball team, from the New York Times. The analysis of security camera videos, aftermath photos, satellite imagery, and munitions experts found that U.S.-made precision strike missile, PRSM, I don't know, PRISM. Oh, PRISM, there we go. Struck a sports hall used at the time by a female volleyball team in La Mer, southern Iran, on the first day of the conflict. Iranian officials reported 21 killed. Particularly damning is one video that shows the explosion over the sports hall. The experimental missiles, which were never tested, deployed an airburst, clearly visible mid-air detonation above the target that disperses a dense cloud of 180,000 preformed tungsten fragmentation pellets, creating distinctive pockmarking damage patterns rather than large impact craters. Lockheed Martin's own product material illustrates this preformed fragmentation effect. A girl's volleyball sports arena, basically sports compound.
It's just disgusting. And you know, the biggest thing is the start of this war was bombing a school of girls.
Yep.
And that's not lost on all these people that, you know, they may not be as, people in the military may not be as internationally savvy and international relations and you know whatnot, but like they're following their own war very closely.
Yeah,
like
there's no reason for this war, and they know that, and they know that they have engaged in war crimes. And listen, I mean, they have to deal with their own moral injuries for being part of this, but I think there's clearly a lot of anger and resentment. They feel completely abandoned by the commander in chief. the U.S. Army has used up virtually all of its surface-to-surface munitions known as Army Tactical Missile Systems, ATACMS, and Precision Strike Missiles, PRISM, Reuters reported Tuesday, highlighting worries about the U.S.'s readiness to wage warfare if more conflicts emerge in other parts of the world. And the reason that that is important is the U.S. was denying that it was our PRISM munitions or weapons, and said that it was from Iran, just like Israel said that they were bombing their own hospitals. But it's clear now because we'd never tested them before, and now we've almost depleted all of them. And the pattern of the way they all fragmented shows that. So when you ask the commander-in-chief how he feels about the people on the USS Lincoln, all heart.
Amazing.
Well, no, that ship is moving. No, they're not. That ship is moving right now, or very shortly, and it's being replaced with another very similar ship. No. Not nearly long enough. Thank you, everybody.
What a fucking...
Has the deployment gone on too long? No. Not nearly long enough. You cannot hate that long enough. Yeah.
It's just amazing. It's a lesson in psychology that anybody still believes this guy is on their side.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Here's how he feels about the fact that, and by the way, it's not just gas, obviously, where prices have skyrocketed. I mean, remember, he was going to end the Ukrainian proxy war
overnight
in the first 24 hours. Yeah. He was going to fix healthcare the last time he was in office. No new wars, blah, blah, blah. And also bring down all the prices. It was all Bidenomics.
Gas is going to be $2.
So here's his response to the high gas prices.
So I just say this. So for you to pay a tiny little bit more for your gasoline, just remember, you're doing it so that a very evil country cannot have, a country really, it's the #1 state sponsor of terror in the world. We don't want to have them have a nuclear weapon. So remember that when you have to pay a little bit more, you're at $4. It's okay. I mean, it's, I'll never apologize. I did the right thing. But you could, if you didn't have,
woohoo,
you'd be
clap and cheer.
I'm
paying $6 a gallon so we can bomb kids.
I just saw in Minnesota where Peggy Flanagan won the primary to run for Senate, U.S. Senate from Minnesota. Her Republican opponent is is the mother of a teammate of my younger son in college, Michelle LaFoya, who said, just don't go to Starbucks so much. Save on gas. Don't go to Starbucks.
Save on gas.
Yeah. That's going to be fun times in the stands. I cannot even tell you.
Oh, but all of this is why, no matter how horrid the Democratic Party is, they're going to take over. They're going to, because these guys are such scumbags. And, it's just Democrats suck, but we're going to have to vote for them. That's the message that's how a lot of people are going to feel. And it's going to work in that respect. So our only shot to get leftists in, if you're looking at electorally, is in the primaries to take over and force it to be, an actual leftist. But then they keep capitulating and being sacks of shit. So we got to be on the outside and in Minecraft.
Yeah, I'm feeling that also. I mean, it's like two different levels. One is the commander-in-chief should care about his military. He should be concerned about their well-being. He should boost morale by having good reasons to get into war, and war should only be as a last resort and all that kind of stuff, which we haven't done forever. But then on the other side, these people are in the military and they are slaughtering civilians for an unjust war. So it's the part that we're concerned about, I mean, isn't so much that they are, I mean, listen,
Look,
I don't know.
They're pawns of a fucked up economic system, right? Most of the people in the military, they heavily recruit in the poorest of the poorest neighborhoods everywhere across the U.S.
Yep.
And, you know, yes, these people should know better, but they're pawns. And the bare minimum from your commander in chief is a little bit of empathy. And he has no empathy for them. He has no empathy for us paying all this money in gas, no connection to anything. He's just selling shit. You know, you can get early access to what's going to happen with the stock market and the war with him.
$100,000 a month to get early release of his truth posts.
It's so brazenly corrupt and illegal.
It's crazy. And then he just got the Trump crypto business, World Liberty Financial, the Trump family's flagship crypto venture, says its trust company has received preliminary approval from Trump's office of the controller of the currency to become a bank. I mean, it's just like, wow, I can't believe that you guys ruled in my favor. That's amazing. That's excellent.
No way. No way. Good stuff.
And you've got like truly nobody in opposition. They cannot even say abolish ICE, defund the police. This is a genocide. I will not support Jeffries because he supports genocide, doesn't support a moratorium on data centers or Medicare for all. You know, like, where are the left people? Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's do we have any more oh no, we do have a couple of little Republican things that are just so gross, but
can I interrupt them for a song that I just feel like we need right now, because I keep bringing up Minecraft and I love this song.
Okay. That is why the man said this revolution will be telepathic.
For legal reasons, April Fools. I'm gonna bomb a Nestle plant in Minecraft. I would never do that in real life. Sucking up all our resources activates my creeper forces. Burn the bottles, save the world in Minecraft. I'm gonna tear the border down in Minecraft. Break the blocks together with my friends. Melting ice with cold intention, freeing people from detention. No one is illegal here in Minecraft.
Sick ass whistle song.
We could kill the president in Minecraft. That's an action that is rated E. Minecraft is the perfect game to build a doodad and take aim. You can't be tried for what you do or say in Minecraft yet.
What's her name?
Confession Kids.
I love her. Hi, Lucky. I
Yeah.
got Lucky here. What do you need?
It might have been part of that other stuff. It looked like maybe 2 or 3 bands were involved, but go follow her. She puts out great music.
Yeah,
It's good
that
stuff.
was awesome. I like her. Teresa, are you kidding me? Of course she did. Angie Nixon today condemned Hamas. Oh, hi.
Lord.
On Minecraft.
Oh.
On Minecraft. On Sabby.
Minecraft.
Nobody should be condemning Hamas.
Yeah,
Nobody.
stop that. Even oh God, what's his name? Mehdi Hassan just put out a whole thing on why you shouldn't condemn Hamas.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he put out a whole, he loves to be Mr. Top Debater, so he tries to lay out this.
I know, but
But it's a good
normally-
argument. You should watch his little clip on it. He put out a little clip on it.
All right.
I don't mean to say little clip. That makes it sound like
I
some
mean, I have such a hard time with him.
adorable
What he
thing.
shits all over third-party people, and
Right.
He always ends up sheepdogging people and whatever. But
we've won him to the right side of the argument on this. So that's a win for the
all
left.
right. Well, that is good.
Say.
You're always looking at the silver lining.
The bright side.
Always look at the bright side of life. Okay. What do you need? She's so needy. She wants to know where her other brother is. Okay. Oh, she's back. Can you guys see her? No, because of the thing. Wait 1 second.
Yeah. We get her. Oh, come here.
Lucky.
Oh, you want a treat? You want a treat? Who wants a treat?
You can't hear because you're in my ear.
Damn it.
All right, go away. Okay, so let's just play a couple of crazy things before we move on back to AI. I know we've been kind of like, all over the place. This is I think a pretty repulsive look at Hegseth, who just a couple days ago we saw sweating Coke bullets and shoving his snot into his hair. And now he's going to launch a triple C. Bad things should happen to bad people.
That's why today we launched the motto of the ACCC, which is we do bad things to bad people. Because for too long, bad people did bad things to good people inside the United States of America and across Central and South America. And we're going to empower great Americans and great partners to do really good stuff and be very capable about bringing violence against drug cartels and designated terrorist organizations, because we're dead serious about securing the homeland. We're dead serious about the Trump corollary to the Monroe Doctrine, which is not just talk. It's not just a policy extension of Teddy Roosevelt. It is a recognition that DTOs, foreign terrorist organizations, will not control our hemisphere with our partners, and we will not allow foreign malign influence to take over, say, key terrain like the Panama Canal.
They can't take over the Middle East the way they want to. The Gulf countries are really furious, but they now have enough of their own fascists in charge in our backyard. So they've got Venezuela.
Yeah, and just to say that when we're losing and giving the straight up to Iran, which great, I'm glad we are. You know, but can they just not use Nazi language too?
No.
Can we not hear homeland? I don't want to be a part of the homeland.
I
mean, it's just dog whistling to their little Nazi boys.
Oh, it's truly disgusting. It is heartbreaking to see Delcy Rodriguez capitulate entirely. Recognizing wherever Israel wants to be and removing themselves from the ICC. And they've just been, and whether it's because they've been threatened, which I'm sure she was, but the whole thing is really depressing. And, Cuba is standing firm, but they are also our Gaza. Like, we have such horrific sanctions on them. They have no oil, they have no electricity, and we're just waiting until they have completely been decimated by our sanctions, and then we will put in be our guy in Cuba,
trying to Venezuela them.
Yep. It's okay, so that is revolting. This was a pretty good ad against Mike Rogers in Michigan about his endless wars. Oh no, that was a different one. No, this is his endless wars.
There comes a time in life when things start to slow down, when you just don't have the same energy you had 20 years ago. But there's a way to bring some excitement back.
What has not helped is the fact that the United States hasn't strongly said that military intervention is still on the table.
Introducing Endless War from Mike Rogers.
Boy, it's really hard when you have to justify every minute of the war, I think, for the president.
With Endless War, you can feel like yourself again.
I think when people think about boots on the ground, they're thinking big maneuver elements, divisions, brigades, battalions. No one's talking about that, although I don't think we should eliminate it.
Side effects may include death, economic hardship, and global instability. Some patients have reported fuel shortages, which may cause inflation. Endless War has not been proven to make Americans any safer.
Ask your doctor if endless war is right for you.
Yeah, it's good.
It's pretty good. You know, Zizu, you're right. And I didn't mean to say that, just like, you know, and people say like we're all Palestinians in that way. Like, I just think it's more that playbook was allowed to play out entirely. And I think the impunity, the lack of restraint,
I think
has like in Vigor era, you know, has made the empire feel like they can do whatever they want. And the way we have treated Cubans for such a long time, you're right, it is not the way Israel has treated Palestinians, but it just feels like it's the same model.
It is. And seeing us and the international community, well, the international community not react strongly enough to stop what's happening in Gaza has enabled and entitled the U.S. to say, well, let's just do some more of this colonial project then, because if you're going to let the genocide go, surely we can just fuck with every other country and launch another fake war on terror against countries whose resources we want.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, nobody is holding them to account. Nobody. Like, it's just insane to me that there was nothing that any country, the only people who actually stood up against the U.S.-Israeli genocide was Ansar Allah. That's it. The only people who fulfilled the duty that every country has in the face of an ongoing genocide. So,
yep.
Yeah.
And you're looking at, you know, if you look at this like two people playing Risk, us and Israel, like we're the people expanding, like we're the threat to the rest of the world to spread our shit everywhere. And that's how this administration looks at the world. And mostly self-interest for themselves. And all these bombs being used, like I said before, like the military industrial complex loves all of that we're depleted and all this shit. Right?
Yeah. The thing that I really don't understand is that China, Russia, and Iran didn't coalesce earlier to stop.
Yeah.
To stop the genocide.
They're they're not good actors in the world either. Like all these governments are not.
Yeah.
So their self-interest is economically they're benefiting from all of our evil.
Yeah.
You know, they're
and
benefiting.
Just watching us basically like a slow crumbling empire that they are certainly benefiting from.
Yep.
Okay. So that okay, this is just crazy. I had sort of forgotten about this lady, Kelly Loeffler. Did you see this? So she's the head of the Small Business Administration. She just got a cabinet position and she is announcing it in a very natural walk and talk, Zohran Mamdani sort of way. Let us watch.
Yeah, we're all ready, so.
Okay. Administrator, we have some questions for you here at TikTok.
What's going on, Mac?
First of all, are you in the cabinet?
Well, actually I am. After I had an incredible conversation with the president by phone to become SBA administrator, he texted me and said, actually, you're going to be in the cabinet. That's a really big deal. And it is, because the SBA administrator isn't guaranteed a spot in the cabinet. But because President Trump knows that small business is big business, this is a cabinet spot now.
What's your favorite thing about being small business administrator?
Well, obviously being out with small businesses, whether I'm walking a factory floor with a small manufacturer or in a small family-owned generational restaurant, I can see the impact that the SBA is having through the work that our team does every day.
Last question. How tall are you?
With or without heels?
Without.
Let's just say without heels, I'm 5'11" and a half.
Thank you for your time.
What is the point of that? For whom was that filmed? Like, was truly, first of all, there's nothing in her binder. Like, if you pause on it and you look, the binder, she's like, why do you even have a prop binder? What's the point? And then walking.
Hey, I'm a master at the prop binder. When I worked at the law firm and I didn't want to do anything all day, I would just take my clipboard works better because you can have some writing on it. The document from your boss is on there, and then you just go talk to people all day with your clipboard. But I'm really trying not to make fun of people's looks, but
I just think that is a very strange video to put out.
Very strange.
And I really need to understand who made that choice.
Yeah, and who she is more important, as Zana's bringing up.
Right.
So she's in charge of small businesses who are not a part of Wall Street.
Right.
And her husband is the chairman of the New York Stock Exchange. And this position did not exist until Trump. So most likely her job is to crush and placate small business as the big empire takes over.
Wait, no, sorry. I think that might be fake news because I did think that there was an SBA administrator, and I even think it's been part of a cabinet before. I'm not entirely sure, but I just don't want people to get. I don't want anybody to call us fake news.
You can call me fake news. I make up everything.
But also, honestly, of course, she's corrupt. He's corrupt. The whole administration's corrupt. The whole Democratic Party, like the whole kit and caboodle, all corrupt, gross. What's the point of that? She looks awful. She can't walk. I'm sure she's just like trying to help the person who's walking backwards, but also like that these are the billionaire club. Like, find a person who can help you out in that regard. Let's just say I'm 5'11". Like, I don't even understand the audience because all it did was get, I guess that's it, distraction. All it did was get ruthlessly mocked for, a day on the internet. But like, who thought that was a good idea? She didn't even talk about like really what she does or why it's exciting or what. I don't know. The whole thing is bizarre.
And to me, the bigger point is that small business is basically in opposition to Wall Street. They are not in the same. It's like James Carville and his wife Mary Magdalene or whatever her name is. Matlin being married, and she's the top Republican strategist, and he's the top Democratic strategist, right? So they're married together. You're enemies. Like, small business gets all of their shit taken away by big business that wants them to not exist. So she's married to the guy in charge of the stock exchange.
Unity. It's actually beautiful. It's a story of unity.
It's
making CNBC anchors happy. Everybody can get along. Yeah. Okay. I thought it was under Clinton that the head of the SBA was in the cabinet. Does not surprise that it was Clinton. Koch brother sponsored Clinton with the DLC and the destruction of what the Democratic Party used to pretend to be. All right. I think that is it for Republicans right now. Oh, this is just Trump giving George Washington a tour of the White House.
Yes.
By Trump. Lost a war to Iran, tanking the global economy, committing one war crime after another, continuing Israel's genocide in Lebanon, as well as Palestine. And
it's just amazing, the arrogant to keep highlighting all the gold shit.
It's crazy.
Because, the gold shit, maybe our generation is different, but we went through Saddam Hussein and the capturing of all of his, and they highlighted all the time on the news, like, oh, look at this elaborate gold. Like, it was all about Saddam Hussein and how rich he was. And the people were suffering because of his gold statues. And Trump is just like, I'm our Saddam Hussein. Here we go. Let's make everything gold. And I'm not going to apologize about gas prices, but have you seen my fucking gold, eagle, Nazi eagle?
Yeah. The fact that Democrats are still like pretty much neck and neck with these people exposes the whole system, right?
Yes.
All right, let's spin before we get to more depressing shit. Speaking of him pooping in his pants, more depressing shit coming towards us.
Do we have any more Legos?
Well, we have, of course we do. And some of them, are more sort of get you going than others. But I also think that some of these are, important to, remind people. It was on August 10th. Sorry, I've got it right here, that Anas al-Sharif and 5 other Al Jazeera journalists were killed in Gaza. He was killed along with 5 other journalists, Mohammed Kreke, this is terrible, Kreke, Ibrahim Zahir, Mohammed Nifal, Momen Aliwa, and Mohammed Al-Khalidi. He helped Reuters get a Pulitzer. And when Israel assassinated him, the headline in Reuters was something like, journalists killed had Hamas ties according to IDF, or some bullshit like that. That was their reporter. They did the same thing. Remember the double tap on the journalists in the hospital? That was an AP journalist photographer. AP completely distanced itself. Like, just the most revolting people. But anyway, this is Persia Boy about Anas al-Sharif. Camera stayed.
Anas al-Sharif, they told you leave the truth behind. You stayed.
The camera stayed when the whole world looked away. Gaza written on every frame. They killed 6 voices in the night, but they couldn't kill what reached our eyes. And the truth survived your name.
Jabali erased him, pressed vest on his chest. Bombs overhead, still reporting what was left. Lost his father, lost friends, still went live. Starving with Gaza, still kept truth alive. Brother said safe passage if he put the camera down. 4 days later, strike hit the press, kid in town. Mohammed Ibrahim, no for moment beside Al-Khaldi, and now the 6 journalists died.
You could leave Gaza, or leave the truth. He chose Gaza, he chose the truth. The camera stayed when the whole world looked away. And Gaza still remembers your name. 6 voices gone, but every frame remains. You killed the reporters,
Not what they
sacred defense.
Anas al-Sharif.
The truth did not leave Gaza. Sacred defense.
Sacred defense.
The
At
fact
least
that we're down
strike
to
4 people off of our killed in action list because it was during a ceasefire, according to Trump. And what did we do when our journalist was killed by Israelis? Shireen Abu Akleh? Nothing. Biden just sat on it. Nothing. Israel will investigate it. Yep.
I don't know. It hits me that like we're looking at tributes to these people's lives through nothing but a fucking Lego video. Like that's where that's what they get,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It disturbs me.
It's all,
But it's
and
the
that-
only thing out there paying tribute to these guys,
Yeah.
I mean, the Gazans do, and there's
Of course, yeah. Yes. I mean, I agree with you. It's just these people are just so evil. They're just evil. They're evil. This is Ben Gvir, his ad right now, because he's running against somebody, oh, it's just Netanyahu's government. No, it's the whole fucking country. And, the people who are opposing Ben Gvir and Netanyahu are just as genocidal. So this is his ad bragging about starving and abusing Palestinian hostages.
שבת.
איך להיות כאן? כיף עוני. לא טוב בכלל. למה לא טוב? הם לא מסכנים, לא, אתם משפחת ביבס, אין להם אוכל. אין אוכל, אין מפגש. ככה עושים, מישהו אויב של המדינה שלנו. על הנשים, על התינוקות שלנו. תראו איך הם היום.
The joy in terrorizing other people, it's so barbaric, and that is what this administration does with total glee and abandon from the moment that Pete Hegseth was allowed to open his mouth and say, we're not going to deal with any of those woke rules of war, pulling out basically from the ICC and putting these horrific, sanctions on individual judges, on Karim Khan, on Francesca Albanese, on the French judge. Like, it just, and now we're doing the same thing. Netanyahu talked about how Rubio did his bidding in removing Karim Khan from the ICC, and now we have, Venezuela removing themselves. We're just slaughtering. We haven't even talked about it recently, but just like assassinating fishermen in the Caribbean. And the ones who survive our strikes are reporting, when they finally, some of them who made it home, that they were tortured by American accented militants. And then the prosecutor who was looking into, or who was investigating this, she and her sister were just assassinated 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. We are a corrupt oligarchy, colonialist fucking empire that's evil.
Yep. And, this kind of bullshit makes me insane. Neera Tanden does this. Hillary does this. All the shitty people who were all in when the protests were happening under Biden, and these students were getting their heads bashed in and doxxed and vilified by Democrats, are now saying, when we've got somebody who is even more, blatantly anti-free speech and punishing universities for allowing anybody to talk about Palestine and Palestinian liberation or Black history, are asking, well, where are all the protesters now? Oh, they only came out for Biden. Like, well, some of them were, deported from the US. Some of them had their whole livelihoods taken away from them. Of course, Hunter Biden is asking that. Oh, shit, fuck. All right. So moving on. This is the Oracle, the executive chair of Oracle, Safra Katz, talking about the wonderful tech that she and Oracle were able to provide the IDF.
You hit our website in an Arab country and you saw your entire screen filled with an Israeli flag, which said, not only we stand with Israel, we stand with our employees in Israel, we stand with the people of Israel, we stand with the military establishment of Israel. There's a few things that we did that I really can't talk about, to be honest, because to advance the agenda for the Israeli military. But our teams did a lot. We have some really profoundly scary technology at Oracle, and we wanted to make sure that it was available for the effort. Let's just say that. Okay? I was in the Curia, and I go in and I meet with everyone you'd imagine I meet with. And on my way out, I run into, 5 of my team who are all in uniform working. And to be honest with you, it's like my proudest moment.
I hope her team fucking rots in hell.
In Minecraft?
Nah, just out in the open. I don't give a shit.
I mean,
if you're working at Oracle, this is your company right here at Oracle. Oracle folks.
I mean, all of these AI companies,
yep.
All of them, that's all they do. And then they look at this maniacal laugh by Elon Musk when he wants to put up another data center, surveillance center, to pull all of the data that they steal from us with Oracle and Palantir and all these places. Oracle is Larry Ellison, right? Who is the biggest individual donor to the IDF. Anyway, Elon Musk's response when locals are worried about the water supply where he is putting his new data center.
Critics say that Tesla is stealing water from the region.
This region has so much water. Look around you. No, this is completely wrong. It's like water everywhere here. Does this seem like a desert to you? It's ridiculous.
What do you expect?
It rains a lot.
Like, it kind of reminds me of the Kelly Loeffler thing where he seems to have no concept of what he actually, no self-awareness of how he presents to regular people.
Yeah, that part, but it's also like just the denialism. It's like, climate change is real, then why is it snowing?
Yeah.
Or, why? Yeah.
It rained yesterday.
Water. What? Look, there's water around us. It can't be.
Woke
What,
water.
are you kidding?
So woke. What do you want? Water and air? Fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
And then
ketamine.
And again, the absolute just brash, brazen impunity, which they talk about breaking laws. Like with AI, this police chief is threatening to run background checks on people who comment.
Scumbag. Jesus
right?
Christ.
And
The arrogance.
The arrogance. Like they are making even the most gentle a protest. Like we should have all of these people's heads on stakes at this point.
In Minecraft, yep.
In Minecraft. And you protest, and that's enough. They will not abide any dissent at all. All right, here, this is, I have to figure out where it is, but anyway, police chief is threatening them.
I decided to get one to help my community, to help catch the bad guys, and I'm getting ridiculed for it. You guys want to call and cancel it, go right ahead. I have no problem. But the next time grandma's missing, or your car got stolen, or you're missing money, and I can't help you, sorry. I'm just trying to be the guy. I have given 20 years to this city. My blood, sweat, and tears, missing family events, holidays. I've worked nights, weekends, and everything. And this is what I get for helping? I am not a rule breaker. I'm a law enforcement officer. I take that oath very frickin' seriously. And to get slammed like I did tonight, good luck. That's all I'm gonna say is good luck. I ought to do background checks on half the people that make comments.
I ought to do background checks on half the people who made comments.
I mean, that's really what it's being used for, right? We know that, but it's just, they aren't even trying to hide it anymore.
Absolutely. And these flock cameras don't even make you fucking safe. Like it's not. I mean, I was just at my folks earlier today because my dad turned 85, as I said, but they used to have security. They live in a gated community. It's a fairly nice neighborhood, but it's not, elite. It's just a nice neighborhood. And, but it's saddled around it by a not so safe neighborhood, an older neighborhood that hasn't had any money invested in it. And whatever. So, people outside get in and rob a lot of, theft happens a lot. It's theft. It's not violent crime. It's theft, right? Because that's just the nature of it. But they replaced the squad that used to drive around with flock cameras at the entrances. And so immediately theft has gone through the roof because there's no, at least the security guard might jump out and take a picture of you or something. But the flock thing, it's not even doing its job. You had one job, flock.
So theft has gone up.
Yeah, theft has gone up like crazy because they saved money on the physical person that would drive around like a normal classic old security guard. And there's just a fucking flock camera now.
And of course, we're never going to use any of that money to invest in community, which we know is actually the way to help reduce crime. I mean, it's just like, like we all know all of it, but it just is, it's maddening to still be here. It's just crazy. Okay. Let's see. One of the benefits of AI, artificial intelligence, we're told repeatedly it's already outpaced regular human intelligence. Let's see how it's going down in Kentucky with their school textbooks.
Well, I bet you've never seen this U.S. map before, where Kentucky is Kenvecky, Indiana is Inolano, and Tennessee is Tunisio, and the list goes on. Well, this was in the agenda given to students at a JCPS middle school.
Mom, did you know that we live in Venecki? And I said, what are you talking about?
That question sent Morris flipping through her middle schooler at Farnsley's brand new agenda, unveiling all sorts of bizarre errors.
The periodic table is just jarbled words. We have new planets called Mark.
In this U.S. map, Louisiana is Lukong, Alabama is Alatome, Illinois is Vitoise, and South Carolina is Sorth Quanto.
It's crazy.
And look at these phases of the moon. Some are not legible. What should be waning crescent says waning Crescane. And the periodic table, where the names under the elements are gibberish.
We have to pay a $10 instructional fee every year in order to get this agenda. So you're making us pay for something that you used AI for.
What are we doing? Why is this being allowed? We truly are so fucked. The whole intention, and Palantir is doing this thing now where they are advising people. I knew this was going to happen when people were talking about well, is it really important to get a college education? It's not even worth it anyway because it costs so much money, which it costs way too much money. It puts you in debt. But because they have made our economic situation so dire, people are starting to be convinced that don't go to college, go to some sort of vocational school. Fine. Like not everybody maybe should go to college or whatever, but they took away what college used to be for.
There's no reason to be intellectual about anything anymore is what it is. Like learning is a waste of your time is what all these AI people will say, because you could just ask the thing and it'll do the thing.
So then you don't have to remember anything. You don't have to read several different primary sources to sort of synthesize and figure out your own ideas. You don't have to talk with professors who should be experts in these fields or other bright classmates who have a different angle and force you to justify your position, develop your brain. No, it's just ask a question. And again, as a reminder, just like Mozart wasn't raised on baby Mozart tapes, none of the Palantir Epstein class of people buy into this for themselves or their families. They, we covered this a year ago or whatever, Epstein had intellectual roundtables. I can't remember what he called it. And now Peter Thiel has carried on that tradition. He knows that it's important, even though his mind has been developed for the most grotesque, barbaric results. But he knows that it's important to develop a brain. And what they are doing to the rest of the country is trying to create just a nation of morons, truly.
Well, that part, and then what's the benefit we're seeing from AI? Well, let me tell you, the only benefit that I've seen so far in Sacramento, California, is now the people have AIs on their parking cars, and you get tickets faster because AI is just looking for people who park over the line. Their tires on the line for the bike lane. There's $200 for the city. So that's what AI is bringing us so far. And there's flock surveillance cameras fucking everywhere.
Yeah. Everywhere.
I mean, once you know what a flock camera looks like, I can't go my day without seeing fucking 30 of them.
Yeah.
If I'm driving around town.
And the Waymos and those little snack carts.
Oh, the Waymos are here now too in Sac. That's new in the last month.
And it's really dystopian to see it. I hadn't seen many of them until just recently, but we know that they have 24-hour, they're just cruising around. Because again, just like Democrat success isn't predicated on winning elections or doing anything for the people, the Waymos aren't like their success is not reliant on picking up passengers. It is constant 24-hour surveillance.
Yeah, and they're going to just fuse it all because this is the robot going around the city ticketing now. That'll be the next thing. They'll just merge that with parking enforcement. So it'll be a roving police force that's like something a little bit wrong. And then, of course, you can manage that. You could say, well, let's just manage the poor people more, which means more parking tickets for poor people.
Always.
Which means they're more strapped and more subservient to the state because they're more at risk of, like, if you step out of line a teeny bit, you know, it's more punitive to them than the rich guy.
So maybe now they'll sign up for the military.
Right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, you have 4 demerits. Have you thought about joining the military? You know?
I mean, it is really dystopian, and it is it's systemic. So like you see, this is a long-term project that was started decades ago. Yeah. Okay. So this is the Palantir solution to skip. And of course, this is from Axios, and they love everything AI. They're constantly talking about AI, and then in between all their articles there's just like AI ads and Anthropic and all this stuff. Some of the by the way, I just read something that we skipped over somehow like last year, that Anthropic, which is supposed to be, you know, the good AI and what's his name, Dario Amodei, his wife, I'd forgotten, she hit up Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
For some foundation, she wanted to help him have some kind of financial benevolence for her, whatever the foundation was that she wanted. So all of these people are just absolute scum of the earth. Okay, some of the tech industry's most influential CEOs are challenging the 4-year degree as the default path for elite talent and building alternatives to it. Axios' Herb Scribner writes, Palantir created the Meritocracy Fellowship, which urges high school grads to skip the debt and skip the indoctrination in favor of a Palantir degree. Peter Thiel founded the 2-year Thiel Fellowship, where participants skip or leave college. Great. No indoctrination there, I am sure.
Good Lord.
Yeah. It's not going to end well for any of us. All right. Should we skip before we move to spin?
Yes, let's do that. Spin that beautiful wheel.
I didn't sleep a lot last night because I knew Xander was leaving today, and I was like going through my list of all the things. And so let's face it, it's been 2.5, 3 glasses of wine are having an effect. Okay, here we go. I'm apologizing for slurring my words so much. Here we go. And yet, if you really want to fix the problem, you have to fight through it, truly. Like, you really balls to the wall. All right.
RMI. All right, this is dystopian still. We got some more Spizzy Spouse. He was the one on the ice machine last week.
Yeah, I like him.
That is why the man said this revolution will be telepathic.
Palantir made the app the ICE agents use.
to round up all the immigrants, and they're coming for you. Core civic, geo, private prisons profiting too. Democrats and Republicans are both in cahoots. Fuck Trump, fuck Biden, fuck Bush, fuck Obama. They all gave billions to Israel to kill the Gazans. Every tax dollar that they take from our pockets goes to these creepy men, so let's open their wallets. Les Wexner, look him up. Larry Fink, look him up. Alex Karp, Peter Thiel, both a bunch of crooked fucks. Larry Ellison bought TikTok to censor truth. Now you only get the Israeli-approved news. Now Netanyahu can get away with all this Holocausting, and Jared Kushner can put a Trump hotel in Rafah crossing. The enemy is not the immigrants or my MAGA neighbor. If you want the real enemy, follow the paper.
He's great. I like him a lot. He's really good.
Yeah, that was so much more educational than the educational pamphlet that those kids were getting.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was heinous. Wait, Myra, we've definitely shown 2 Legos, right?
We've had 2.
Yeah, we've had 2.
Okay, one more. Let's do one more.
All right.
For Myra.
All
Keep them happy.
Which one do you want to do?
I don't care.
All right. Well, this is another horrible. Wait, all right. I'm going to try and find a different thing. Okay. Yeah. I don't know who's gonna get us kicked off. No, not really. Okay, where's the white flag? Trump is low-keying this until he can really make Iran feel the pain. Meanwhile, like there's a new coalition of Gulf countries. Like it's all a mess. Everybody knows he lost. There's actually not a single person or country who thinks that we are going to win this. So anyway, where's the white flag?
You said the war was already won. Said Tehran had nowhere left to run. Our flag still flies over Tehran tonight. You came for surrender, now you bargain for rights. You said bend the knee, said the ending was near. 5 months of fire and we're still standing here. Our flag still flies, let the whole world see. You promised a white flag, you promised the knee. You came for capitulation, victory on demand. Yeah. Cry, Uncle White Flag, you called it complete. Said Iran was finished, already beat. 48 hours, open Hormuz of pay. Another ultimatum that faded away. Bombers overhead, blockade on the sea. Still couldn't write the end you promised on TV. No surrender photo, no Tehran on his knees. Now the conversation starts with what Iran needs. You wanted regime collapse, a victory parade. Instead, every deadline became another delay. Iran wants sanctions lifted, damages paid. American blockade gone before the water gets made. You can call it a deal, call it whatever sounds right, but surrender doesn't negotiate the terms of the fight. You came demanding everything, certain we would fall. Now the Iranian flag is still above it all. You predicted the silence, you predicted the fall, but look toward Tehran, the flag never fell. Our flag still flies over Tehran tonight. You came for surrender, now you bargain for rights. You said bend the knee, said the ending was near. 5 months of fire and we're still standing here. Our flag still flies. Let history recall. Sacred defense. You came for surrender. You came for the knee. You came for the knee. Now you negotiate with the country. You said would cease to be. You said would cease to be. Now watch who bends the knee. Sacred defense. Sacred defense.
What's going to happen? Like, Trump has been so humiliated by Israel, right? Like, they got him into this war, the whole thing with the assassination attempts, the butler and the other 2 before he even was elected, that he kept getting fed that this was, because Iran wanted him dead, which, by the way, they should, because he killed Soleimani, right? And then, oh, I hear pitter patter behind me. And then this whole thing with the airport food cart, it's so humiliating, using Air Force One as a decoy when the CIA said that it wasn't even credible, but basically they were doing it to appease him. Like, all of this is coming out. He's been so, I would say, existentially humiliated if he had even a modicum of self-awareness or whatever. But what's going to happen? And as I think, as Wally is saying, Iran's not going to negotiate. Why would you negotiate? I wouldn't even ever negotiate with the U.S. Doesn't matter who it is. Because yes, Trump got us out of the JPCOA, but Biden didn't get us back in.
Yeah, look, I don't know. I mean, I just see the war continuing as it is. It goes, it pauses, it goes, it pauses, and Trump, takes a slow ride out of there. We're not going to just overnight just end it because Israel won't let us. So there's always going to be this conflict of not ending it because of our relationship with Israel, which is, it's not really even about Israel. It's about all the people in power and the fusion of the tech and the money and the donors to both parties. But Trump will just ride these waves, buy on the dip kind of stuff and just keep getting rich off of all of it. So he doesn't really care. He doesn't give a fuck about the people. All of his gold statue shit just proves it that, in the face of all this embarrassment, he's still walking around showing you gold fucking eagles and shit.
I mean, it's pathological.
Yeah, but the cost is on the Republican Party mostly. They are the ones that are going to take the hit from this war more than the Democrats.
Yeah.
Democrats, as complicit as they are in it, they're the alternative to it. In theory, they can position themselves as kinder, at least, than him, and more empathetic in their efforts.
Yeah.
So they love it because it's we don't have to do any work. We can just pretend to be a little bit left of that guy, same plan they've used for 50 fucking years.
I mean, as the world truly burns, and the inability to talk about defund the police in this moment when we're seeing, the newest thing for ICE, and I know they're not the same, but they're all the same. It's all the same. It's the same group of people. It's the same racist, testosterone, junked up, whatever, aggro people. And the newest thing is the electric shock gloves that ICE is going to get so that we don't have to see them pointing guns in people's faces. This is what they call low optic. This is what it looks like.
With ICE tactics already facing fierce scrutiny, tonight the Department of Homeland Security is planning to spend up to $20 million on specialized gloves agents can use to incapacitate someone with an electric shock simply by touching them. DHS describing them as de-escalation devices, saying their officers are trained in use of force.
Give me your hands. Give me your hands.
The technology called the glove or generated low output voltage emitter seen here in a demo from the manufacturer.
You ready? Here you go.
In a manual, the company Compliant Technologies recommends avoiding use on the elderly, small children, pregnant women, and the severely handicapped. This comes as another ICE confrontation is under the microscope. Virginia mother Carolina Molina says an ICE agent seen here brandished his gun after she shouted at federal agents detaining people.
The one that tried to run us over.
The agents accuse her of trying to run them over, which Molina says this dash cam video shows is false.
When I saw him pull in front of me and take the gun out, because as he's walking up, the gun is already out, and then he starts pointing it at me.
In a statement tonight, the Department of Homeland Security again accused Molina of trying to harm agents with her car during an operation, which she strongly denies. Molina could face, the department says, criminal charges, although they didn't specify for what.
Yeah, these evil fucks, dude. Those gloves are going to be at your next protest. That's what's happening here. And they're just going to grab people. They're going to make the case that you resisted or you attacked them. And really, you just got shocked and thrown to the ground. And, they could do it against the disabled, just not the severely disabled, Well, they warn against it.
Yeah.
They warn against not recommended for the severely disabled, you know.
And we're still not able to talk about, I mean, abolishing ICE, defunding ICE, defunding the police. We see what's happening in Britain, where they have these like actual Holocaust survivors in wheelchairs who are just sitting peacefully protesting genocide, being hauled off in their wheelchairs. Like, these people are
they'll be easy to electrify. You could just grab the wheelchair and electrify them because they're not severely disabled. So that's okay.
This is not reformable. And I really understand that there is still fear among some people about what would happen if we don't have cops and ICE. But we know that they only focus on violent crimes 5% of the time anyway. So use those specific people truly just to do that. Allow protests to happen because they're not accomplishing a fucking thing anyway.
All they ever do at any single protest that has ever happened is incite violence themselves.
That's it. And they want to. That's the whole. They are trying to provoke a war against the people. Like, they are so scared everybody is a threat. Everybody is guilty of a pre-crime. We're all terrorists. They are worried they're not going to make it home to the wives that they beat. So they come out guns blazing. They are taught that they are in the deadliest jobs ever. Put a fucking N95 on because the biggest killer of ICE and cops for the last 2 years has been COVID. But, you know, and then there was this little report of like showing how these electric shock gloves actually make people feel who are just sort of like, oh, they couldn't be that bad. It sounds kind of fun. I don't know. How bad is it?
Shock me for kicks. Let me see. Tase me. Let's see how it works.
We heard ICE plan to spend up to $20 million on these gloves, so we set out to see what they are. This footage is straight from the manufacturer, Compliant Technology LLC. Our first reaction was, how is this going to affect people with heart condition? Dozens have already died from strokes in ICE detention. If you're also wondering, can somebody die from these things? Don't worry, somebody already did. A 43-year-old man in Kentucky died in 2024 after he was shot 27 times with these gloves and also 13 more times with a taser. The manufacturers say these shocks are supposed to only last up to 15 seconds at a time, but the record of this man's death say 2 of those 27 shock cycles by these gloves lasted longer, one for 45 seconds and one for 99 seconds. You can see stories that Status Quo has documented of ICE tasing U.S. citizens just for yelling at them and running away. This activist was hospitalized due to completely unprovoked escalation to violence from ICE agents. Now we're giving them new toys to do worse to non-citizens.
Alright, are you ready?
Yep.
Oh!
No. It was like vibrating, like electric.
Yep.
This shit cannot be allowed, period.
I mean, so many more people are going to get killed. It's like the less lethals that are sending people to the hospitals. Tina actually, so that was Status Quo. Amazing. They've been so fantastic with their reporting. And, you know, I mean, there are people who are supposed to be the intermediaries between ICE and the journalists to make sure that journalists who have a constitutional right to report on these protests are allowed to be there. And instead they're sold out and they're sold out to the ICE agents, and they just kind of walk away or like move back. And, you know, I mean, we've talked about it so many different times when, you know, Tina's been in an emergency room shot with a less lethal or her finger's been blown up. And why any journalist or protester should be treated this way. Like, why is anybody talking about peaceful protesting anymore? It doesn't exist. Our government does not allow it. Except for the No Kings marches. Who the fuck cares? The same people who do the No King marches, and they stand up and applaud when King Charles comes to Congress, right? Like, yeah.
Yep. You know, but I was just thinking about it. You know, you're like you're saying that it's the easiest thing for Democrats to run against. People hate this shit so severely.
Yep.
Like, and I use my parents as a barometer in a lot of ways because my dad's pretty more left to my mom, who's, you know, she's a Hillary supporter, if that puts you where she's at, but she's leftist sympathetic in a lot of things. And I was just over there today and I brought up the gloves and she knew all about them.
Really?
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
here's a centrist. She's not watching our show, even though she's pretty left in theory, but like, you know, and she even like brought up Rachel Maddow had a great episode and that kind of stuff. And my dad and I both kind of but I mean, she knows all about the evils of flock cameras and these fucking gloves. And this glove story just made the news this week. So, you know,
all right.
If you want to know where the public is, they hate this shit.
Yeah.
Easy win for Democrats if they want it.
They don't. And again, like, neither one of us, nobody I think watching thinks that electoral politics is the way we're going to get out of this. But again, I think we need to make sure that more sort of normies really understand that that's not how we're going to get out of this, because they are still under the illusion that there is a democracy. They still think, oh, we just need a couple more DSA people who then right away say, oh no, woke one was crazy. What? Woke one.
Yeah, and the woke one thing, when you showed the Higseth clip, it reminded me like the military woke thing was his. So like you're leaning into that. You're leaning into like the whole thing. Anything woke is bad now.
Yep.
Like, so Hegseth is right according to your logic, AOC. Woke one was crazy.
Yeah. And hey, we've got a comment.
I mean, she might. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, look at some of the people who've been really, great on Israel, but who are vehemently against the homeless. Clean up those homeless. Why do you think the homeless are there? Why is anybody poor? Why is anybody poor? And I know Anna Kasparian, she's great about Israel. She really is. She's well-spoken. She fights. She's, got all the facts at her disposal. But there really has to be a point where we understand that all of this is intersectional.
Yeah, she's really good on so many things, but she's a NIMBY. She's a not in my backyard, like offended by the poor people kind of vibe. Very liberal in that respect. And that's pox on her for that.
Is the point. And yeah, they know it's going to get really bad. They need the easiest ways. I mean, imagine what that's going to do. Like between the glasses that surveil all of us, that now they took away the thing that, the light. So you can't even tell. Like, I guess it used to be that you could tell if one of Meta's glasses was on and recording. Now they took that away. She really is. But now also they don't need to pull out a gun. They don't need any big movements. They can just walk past you. That guy fell down after a second. How many times when you're at a protest, it can be packed and there's jostling and there's all this stuff. How many people are going to be affected by that? And by the way, also, what's on your hat? Myra wants to know.
Oh, Harbor Freight. It's just a poor man's tool. It's a poor man's Home Depot. They make shitty, cheap tools that don't last, but they're poor. They're cheap. So
right.
It's working. It's solidarity with the working class that's poor, which is me. So solidarity with myself.
Solidarity with myself.
It's a literal $3 hat you can buy at Harbor Freight.
Right. But I also think about the thing that the right wing and then libs love to say is the only people who are affected by COVID were people who already had underlying conditions. And then what I always like to remind them is that insurance companies who have a bottom line, after you've had COVID, you now have an underlying condition. Your heart is a little weaker. Your blood vessels are a little weaker. Your brain is a little weaker. It's all weaker.
Yeah.
So.
And look, as an electrician, I know a little bit about electricity. Where you die from electricity is when it passes through your heart, right? So that's why when these people die of heart attacks from this, this shock, that's it. It's they're going to grab your arm here, but if that if that electricity continues through your arm to something else, so if this arm somehow connects to something that keeps that flow, pushes it through you, that's where you die. That's why when you're working with electricity, you don't want your other hand on some metal or something,
right?
So the current can pass through you,
right?
And so, you know, them grabbing you with electricity is super fucking dangerous. There's no,
it's just insane.
It's
because we know who they are. We see who these people are. Why would you be giving them any power at all? For what? And the people they're going after are the most peaceful of the people. Some of them, there's a whole thing now because, yeah, I know, me too. I mean, this is just despicable. And also, I will just say that my longtime acting coach, who we just had this big ceremony for yesterday, who passed away a month ago, he had a very mild case of COVID and a month later was diagnosed with ALS. And I mean, listen, I don't want to be like, I don't want to say that that was necessarily one thing was a cause and the other effect, but we are just ignoring the fact that we are doing massive bodily damage to all of us over and over again.
Yep. And it's the most disappointing thing on the left because we got gaslit as a nation and world that things are fine now and literally nothing changed about COVID. And everyone's just like, well, fuck it. I just, you know, I kind of got to believe what they're telling me because I don't see a solution and my kids got to go to school and I can't afford daycare and, you know, all of it. So it's just like everyone collectively bought it, but it was a huge failure on the left's part to let this go.
Bernie did not talk about Medicare for all once the whole time good friend Joe was in power.
And he was the senior rep on the healthcare board or whatever. I forget what it was called. But in the Senate, he was the top guy on healthcare, basically, in the Senate.
Well done. Luigi's gotten more done. I hope that happens. I mean, that will be the funniest thing when they shoot themselves, shock themselves, do all of that. But
yeah, we'll get video of that, but it won't make it worth it. But we will make sure and share that when we get it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I did not bring the joy today. And Pat, I have to say, my friend, I love you, but I feel like my energy was stronger. I brought you down. I was hoping you were going to bring me up. I feel like
What? I'm laughing. I'm ha. This is fine. Our background should just be the "This is fine" flames all show.
Yeah.
We should make that happen.
God damn it. Why did Luigi plead guilty? I don't believe that was a good choice. I refuse to believe it. I refuse. Unless somebody gives a really good case. All right. We love you guys. It's Sunday today. So we'll be back on Wednesday. NorCal listen, Wednesday at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. We will be back. We love you guys. Keep punching it.
See ya.
Why do you think you can just hold that
I mostly can. That's called the First Amendment. You think you can, so what? Your man's a pedophile. Your man's a pedophile. Imagine that, right? A fucking cult. Hey, so what, man? It's called the First Amendment. It's called the First Amendment. And guess what? They can learn about the First Amendment. They still hanging black children in Mississippi. Do you give a fuck? So you more offended about fuck or you more about him fucking over sailors? Right, you damn right. Just like Melania. Just like Melania. That's all right. Hey, cry harder about that shit. Cry harder about that shit, lady. Trump don't give a fuck about children. He used Air Force One as a decoy. Cry harder about that shit. Cry harder, chick. You welcome. You can thank me for my motherfucking service now. Fuck out of here. It's forever fuck Trump. And anybody who's still fucking with that white supremacist. Hey, fuck Trump today, fuck Trump tomorrow, and fuck Trump forever.
Fuck Donald Trump. 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 Fuck Donald Trump.